don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but we have a little bit of plastic making some noise up here, and that ought to tell you how much air is infiltrating up here in the second floor, which if you look behind me, you could see some daylight in the eaves. We're working on that. I got insulation board, picked it up Friday night, went through a snowstorm to get it. I think I told you guys about that on the live feed we did Friday night. And we're going to start getting this end where Mary's going to have all her workout stuff and all that good stuff. I'm going to be putting a desk up here for editing, things like that. But we're going to start getting this spot of the barn warmed in. I've got 1-inch foam board insulation to go against the steel. That's going to have to do us for now. But after that, we're going to be putting a layer of regular insulation bats under that, and then a layer of wood. Also going to be doing the walls on the inside with 1-inch foam board. We have so much, when you're using green 1x boards as you're sheathing, expect those things to dry out and you're going to get some huge gaps in them. And I do have that here throughout the whole building. In fact, the wind was so bad here the last overnight, and the snow started coming down pretty nasty. This building is filled right now with snow, mostly driven in from the cracks in the walls. So that's something we definitely, I'm very much looking forward to getting addressed, getting that taken care of. It's a big process. When you're doing a building this size by yourself and you're working on a budget and you're trying to do it out of pocket, you know, you have family and all that, those needs have to come first. It's a big, long, drawn-out process to get this done. But we're gaining on it. We're gaining on it all the time. So, long story short, I've got a point where this is closed in now, at least plasticed off this last section. You guys will see that in the video. We're going to start getting the insulation board cut and fit. We're going to be pressure fitting it in between the rafters. And like I said, the biggest reason for that is I'm going to be going through with insulation bats underneath of that. I'm not putting it on the outside because I want to wire lights and things like that. So that's why we're not putting it on the outside. Plus that'll make it so I can't insulate underneath of it. Kind of important to me, when you have a metal roof like this, even if you have sheathing, you need a thermal barrier there of some kind. And that's what's nice about foam board insulation or spray foam or what have you. We were looking at spray foam for this. I was looking at the kits, and it's just too expensive. It's going to cost so much to do this. It's crazy how much that stuff is. But you're going to see an R value on foam board insulation. Like this stuff, 1 inch is R5. It's very deceiving because this stuff creates such a thermal break. It actually performs much better than the R value that they put on these things. And if you think of it like this, you get your styrofoam cup full of really hot coffee, you burn your mouth to drink it, but you can hardly feel the heat through that thin styrofoam cup. Kind of the same idea with the foam board insulation. Now I also mentioned that we have some snow penetrating between where the roof seams meet, and that's because the black foam pieces you put in between, they didn't seal very well, being too cold out, so they didn't expand all the way. We're just going to get some, I couldn't find the black spray foam that's made for that. So we're going to do, I've got a couple cans of window and door spray foam. It doesn't expand that much. Plus that styrofoam, that foam, those foam strips are already in there, so it's going to keep that from leaking out. I just want to hit it where the snow's coming in, and that way, because I don't want snow blowing in above this insulation laying there and then melting come spring, and then we have a mess of water up there, which I really don't want. I have debated on whether to close off, and you'll see in the video, I've got some spots where the purlins carry out over the rafters, so we get about a 2-inch gap. Now this being a non-vented roof, I've been wrestling on what to do with that gap. Do I want to fill it, or do I want to leave it open so we get some venting? I think I've decided I'm going to leave the rest of them open so this roof can vent out. That way, you know, it'll dry itself out, and that's a big thing to avoid rot. I mean, it's okay. You don't want things getting wet, but if they do get wet, they have to be able to dry out. If they're not able to dry out, that's when you're going to get the rot. So anyway, stay tuned. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you on the other side. Alright guys, you can see what we're into. Another short one. It's freaking cold out here tonight. Did start out in daytime, but like any other day we start to do anything, a bunch of other shit comes up and the project gets taken away from. But anyway, as you can see, we are pressure fitting the foam board into the rafters. I'm making them really tight because this is green lumber. It is going to shrink. Before we go and close these ceilings up, chances are I'm going to have to put some strips down under this foam insulation or the foam board to keep it in place. I'm not going to worry about it right now because it should hold just fine until things start to shrink. All right, like I said, I'm putting them in there pretty darn tight. We also have this plastic off, so everything out here, at least we have some kind of a barrier. It's not going to hold a lot of cold out, but it will help immensely. We got to do, of course, we're going to try to do the roof first, and then hopefully I should have enough. I've got 49 sheets of this stuff, so I should have enough to do the entire roof in here and all these walls, this gable end and down here. But I'm going to have to do something with the floor also, but we're going to visit that when we get to it, see what happens. It may not even happen this time, this go around. But main goal, get this area in the back here insulated. We get at least one heated spot in here. Hopefully by next winter, I want to have this entire second floor ready to hold heat. That would be awesome. But like I've said before, a lot of you have suggested, how come you don't have heat? Where's your heat? You know, I don't want to get rained on in here because it'll condensate so hard. It'll just drip and soak everything. But anyway, it's just another quick update, guys, of what's going on. I know the progress is slow. The videos are slow right now, but we're just chipping away. Kind of in the same situation we were last winter. When the weather gets crappy like this and you have to work in it, everybody tends to slow down a little bit. At least I do and most of the people I know. But so that's where we are. We're going to keep plugging away on this until it's done. You may not get another video on this until I have it pretty well all done, so I don't kill you with redundancy. But anyway, also, I'd like to mention, I told you my wife Mary, the one who was running the channel in the summer for us when I got hurt, she has started her own channel. I will put a link to that down below. It's not a building channel, it's not a how-to channel. It's she deals with OCD pretty hard. She has her whole life. So she's been wanting to do something for a while, but she's been kind of shy about putting herself out there, and that's a lot of yourself. When you get into your inner thoughts and your mind workings, that's a lot of yourself to put out there for the world to see. But if any of you are interested in that kind of thing, I'll put a link to her new channel in the description below. She put her first video out today. She did a bang-up job with it. To be honest with you, her editing skills are a lot better than mine. She really does a good job of that. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry for the short one, but they're going to be like this until things warm up and it's a little more comfortable to work out here. So you guys have a good one. I'll catch you the next time.